Welcome back. This is OutBoxx Assembly Service. Today we have a 10 by 12 no-name gazebo. And here's what we're going to do. We already did the overall review. That's answering the question, should you buy this gazebo? Right now we're going to do the assembly review, which is going to answer the question, should you assemble this gazebo? And then of course there's a time lapse as well, so you can see how the whole assembly went. Plus it's super satisfying to watch it go up in a snap. So decide which video you want to see. Maybe you want to see them all. And if you want to buy this, there will be a link in the description as well. So check that out. Working on getting a really great deal for you guys. Without further ado, come on in. Let me tell you about how the assembly went. Alright, so we're going to go over the pros and the cons of this assembly so you can know if you want to take this on yourself. I have 4 pros and a tip in here as well, so we'll get to everything, and I'll also give this assembly a grade overall. So we're OutBoxx Assembly Service. We assemble one of these pretty much every day in Michigan. If you are in this area and you want something assembled, give us a call. We're at 734-444-6812. Alright, without further ado, the pro number 1. This assembly was super simple. Alright, it really doesn't get a lot simpler than this for this style and this size of gazebo. So overall, it's something you should really consider doing yourself if you have some basic tools and some basic skills and a partner as well with those same skills. Then you can probably knock this out. Assembly overall, it took us, 2 people, all the tools you can ever imagine, 5 hours to get this thing done. That includes unboxing, getting our tools out, anchoring, everything, 5 hours. So you can expect this to take somewhere in between 5 hours and 8 hours, get it done in a day. We didn't have any mistakes during our assembly, so no strip screws, not anything to fix. So that time, if you beat that time, call me and let me know. Maybe leave it in the comment section below. All right, and then pro number 2. For the assembly, it has parts that just click together. So up top, the double roof, some of the pieces that attach to that as well. You can see the silver parts right there. They just click in. So you love to see some parts that you don't have to screw together all the time. It makes the assembly just a little bit easier. There are minimal variety in screws. So a lot of times we get on builds and there's 12, 15 different types of screws or even more. So this time there wasn't a lot of different variety in screws, so you don't have to worry about confusing one screw for another as much as you would on another build, which makes the assembly a lot easier. Clear instructions. So we didn't have any problems interpreting the instructions. I tell people that instructions are a language in and of themselves. We're experts at it, but at the same time, we didn't need to be for this build because it was simple, it was clear, and it was concise. So overall, you see that there's a lot of pros for this assembly, and that takes me over to the cons, which are none. I literally don't have any cons on the assembly part of this gazebo. So definitely a surprise, and that makes me just say I recommend this gazebo highly. I gave this a grade on the overall review. You can check that, but a grade for this assembly, I say 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest ever to assemble, 10 being the most difficult to assemble. This one gets a 5. It gets a 5 because I don't want people to think that anybody could come out here and do it. You do have to have skills. You do have to have a ladder. You do have to have some skills. And I want you to be comfortable with and relatively handy. And then it takes 5 hours. Any 5-hour assembly is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So definitely a 5 out of 10 is manageable for somebody with basic skills. My cameraman says it's a 2 on the scale of 1 to 10. Is that what you're talking about?
2 people.
Oh, you need 2 people. Yeah, you do need 2 people. You want to give it a grade 1 to 10?
Yeah, I'd say about a 7 to 8.
7 to 8. So more difficult than I thought. Maybe you were.
No, that's how easy it is. 7 to
Oh.
8. It's up there on the easy scale.
Oh, so that would be down actually. So
Yeah, right. So 2 would be right.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Your 2 or 5 would be
2 or 3.
That's
Okay.
pretty easy.
All right, pretty easy. You know, we do different parts of the assembly, so it's good to hear that as well. And then one thing I wanted to point out was just one tip, which is over here, these panels slide up and in. So when you're assembling this, make sure you leave about 5 feet of distance between a structure and where you're going to put up these panels, because I had about 4 feet. I had to kind of bend the panel just a little bit to get it to slide in. So if you want plenty of room, give yourself 5 feet. It's not terribly difficult to move this around post-assembly, so move it back if you need to after that's up. But just be wary that, you know, you can't have this assembled directly up against the house. If it was this close when we were putting in the panels, they wouldn't go in. So that's just one tip there for the assembly. But that's it really. If you want to see the specs of this gazebo, you want to see more photos, or you want a price, click the link in the description. It'll take you to the gazebo, and I'm working on getting a really good deal for my viewers, so definitely check the link to see how much it is. Overall, man, this is a super affordable gazebo that I recommend highly. So check the overall review again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, get excited to relax.